I'll get a iPad mini when the new ones come out.
All right, hey, we're live here for News AF today, everybody. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Should I start recording right now?
Yeah, you could record.
Okay.
We're back. Last week we weren't live on YouTube because Big Brother was running along.
That's true, but we are live now.
Taryn did a tight hour today.
I wish there was a way I could share this to my YouTube page too. There's not a way. Can you put in two YouTube accounts on there or something?
Do two YouTubes.
What else can you do? Are you doing everything you can do on there?
We're on YouTube and Facebook right now.
That's everything.
And then what other mediums can you put on? None?
You can put other ones on there. You have, I mean, I have to look on StreamYard and see what's available.
Yeah, let me know, because if you got an empty space, I may as well.
Yeah, tell me what you want.
Well, I mean, I could slap it on my Facebook if you can do multiple Facebooks, or I could slap it on my Instagram, or I could probably Instagram doesn't work.
Instagram.
Twitter probably doesn't work. Maybe it does.
Go stick that. You can go to Twitter. Hold on. Let me see. Go to Facebook profiles.
You
can go to LinkedIn. What if we put it to your LinkedIn?
LinkedIn. I haven't heard that for a while.
Where else?
You could do it to Periscope, Facebook group, Facebook profile.
Okay.
Twitch, Restream, or custom RTMP.
But you don't have it sharing on your Twitch?
No. We just share it to the YouTube and the Facebook.
Okay. Well, I can share it somewhere if you don't want to. If you're not going to share it to your Twitch, I'll share it to my Twitch next time. We'll figure it out.
Hey, we just got to add it in. Okay.
So let me try and share this out. I don't know why when I open YouTube, it doesn't show me your stuff right off the bat, even though I'm subscribed.
What do you want to say?
Well, I want it to be like, here's Rob has a podcast live right now. And then it doesn't. There's only, here we go. I'm going to share this. How do I share?
I feel like I'm talking to my dad.
I know.
Internet stuff.
Well,
yeah, say some supportive things to Danny so he really feels like.
How many tabs do you have open? Probably like 50 to 60.
Copy link. Okay. Now we're set, dude. Now I'm going to tweet it out. Just one thing.
Yeah.
Podcasting live. Yeah. RN for registered nurse.
Okay.
And then
enter.
Paste. And we are.
Oh my gosh!
Go, Danny. What?
When you describe what you're doing while on a computer, you age 30 years.
No, I was doing it for you, Danny, so you knew where I was.
Oh well, I like a little mystery in my relationship.
Follow it along.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
That didn't used to be you. You used to like to know everything and where everything was going to go.
All right.
All right, you ready for News AF?
Let's bring it.
Born ready, dude.
Born ready. All right. Here we go for News AF. Here we go. Hey, everybody, what's going on? Rob Sesternino back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of August 3rd, 2021, here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual.
Yeah, the actual factual news is back again with all of the crew here today to talk about News AF. And here with us, he is Pickleball's top influencer in North America and probably the world. Here he is, America's dad, 4-time survivor, Tyson Apostle.
You forgot marriage boot camp.
Hold on. Why all of a sudden did your mic get bad?
Yeah, your mic is now all room.
Are you for real?
Yeah,
Let
you're
me
the
see.
echo chamber.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on. Let's try it
Hold
again.
on.
It must have happened when you were
Yeah.
doing all that YouTube stuff.
Here he is.
Better?
America's dad. Yes.
Here I am.
Father Nature.
Yeah. I needed to sniff my nose, so I turned my mic off, but in doing so, it disconnected it from the thing. So I will not do that again.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm Father Nature. I am the world's #1 pickleball influencer, and I will be influencing this weekend in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at the Gamma Pickleball Classic.
What a place to influence.
If you are in the greater Pittsburgh area or want to travel there to come see me, I'm just hanging out all day. I'm not even playing in the tournament. I'm just there to hang out. I will be bringing a suitcase full of swag to sign and give away to anybody who cares to come and join me. Are
they naming the event something special? I have a friend who does a pinball tournament in Pittsburgh, and they call it Pinsball or Pittsball.
Pittsball? No, this is just a Gamma Pickleball Classic. But next year it'll probably be Tyson Apostles.
I like that.
Tyson Apostles Gamma Pickleball Classic.
Yeah.
So come join me. I would love to see anybody and hang out as much or as little as you want. David, I'm sorry for your loss. He just moved from Pittsburgh to somewhere else. Move back. You've got a few days.
You'd love to see everybody, anybody. I'm sure there's some people you wouldn't love to see.
You mean like my mortal enemies?
Yeah.
I don't have any. And my mortal enemies, I mean, I'm definitely some people's mortal enemies, but I do not have any mortal enemies.
You don't reciprocate.
Myself. Yeah.
You don't sink to their level.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's a one-way street for them.
Yeah.
Their anger, the doofus tribe is constantly angered and upset and looking for ways to get back at me, but they never will.
The doofus tribe. Who's
that?
I
made a joke about a former Survivor contestant being his original tribe being the doofus tribe. Got back to them. They sent a scathing message to me on Instagram. Hilarious.
Okay.
Because doofus is just a funny word. And if somebody told me I was on a doofus tribe, I would think that was funny.
Okay. All right. Well, a man who has many mortal enemies. Let's welcome in Danny Bryson.
Waiting in the shadows just for their time to come out and destroy me.
Yeah, you do reciprocate, right?
Oh man, I am full of anger, but I don't like confrontation. So it's like I'm conflicted. I want to punch them in the face, but I don't want them to punch me back in the face.
Yeah. Danny is a coward if you get him face to face with somebody.
Yeah. I don't want to deal with it. And I don't want the long-term, problems that are associated with conflict.
This is
on and on.
Yeah. So Danny, like, let's say we go to a restaurant, somebody's all up in Danny's grill, like in a weird way. Danny, I'm the guy who will say something. I'll be like, hey, bro, you're being a real jerk.
I'll be like, let's go.
And Danny, I know Danny well enough.
Hey, let's put up your
dukes.
No,
let's get in the car.
Danny will just
leave.
Yeah. So I'll look at Danny. Danny will be silent, but inside fuming,
full of rage.
And then sometimes he'll go, or sometimes he'll just like deal with it. And then when we leave, he'll be like, that sucked. All of that was the worst. I hate that worst person. So Danny just internalizes it to avoid all conflict. I don't love conflict either, but I think that if I'm clearly in the right, then everybody there will have my back.
But I did just get back from the dump. I was telling you guys about that earlier.
Not from taking a dump, from taking a load to the dump.
Both. You don't know that, Tyson.
I had a character building experience yesterday.
Yeah.
I do work other than this podcast. I do occasionally go and do stuff. And part of my job is to clean out these cabins that sit unused for 9 months out of the year. So naturally,
which cabins? The ones up at Current Creek?
Yeah. So naturally, animals, when they see that humans aren't living there, they think they can live there.
Ooh, what do you got in there? Skunks?
So no, I did deal with a skunk. So I did have to deal with a skunk corpse, which let me just say, I'm still suffering from COVID smelling issues, and the skunk smelled just like a tortilla chip. Like it's the
Did you
same smell
taste
for
it?
both.
Don't tell me you tasted it.
No, I didn't taste it. I'm saying just the smell. The smell of a tortilla chip was the same as the skunk. Anyway.
But I'm saying, if it's a nice fresh tortilla chip, it probably smelled delicious, and you were like, "Do I dare?"
The smell
taste
of a
this?
tortilla chip right now is
repulsive
one of
to
the most
you.
repulsive smells. So I was cleaning out one of the cabins,
Wait,
and I had to.
hold on. Talk this through, Danny. So I was thinking like you had like a superpower where it's like, oh, dead skunk. No one can deal with that except for Danny because he's lost his sense of smell because it smells like just a tortilla chip to him. But you're saying that a tortilla chip is the worst smell.
Yes. So tortilla chips, gasoline, skunks all have the same smell. And it's this really putrid, awful, disgusting, repulsive, puke-inducing smell.
Tyson, are you following this? So if you're saying that if Danny smelled a tortilla chip, it would smell like a skunk?
It would smell like
or
the
a
skunk
gasoline.
smelled. Yeah, it's like strong odors tend to have
let's
the
say
same
that
odor.
Andy and I are detectives, and we're on the case of the gasoline thieves, and we're trying to follow the trail of gasoline smell to get to catch the culprits. And I'm like, I smell gasoline over here, and Danny's like, that's not the way. This is the gasoline smell. And we show up, and it's a warehouse full of skunks.
Yeah, and that's how it could be. Anything that's strong. I know when something smells strong. I don't know what the smell is. I only know that it's a strong smell because it's got the default strong smell scent.
Wow.
The top 3 strongest smells are skunk, gasoline, and tortilla chips.
Well, they're in the category of the strong smell scent. So
But tortilla chips are not a strong smell.
I know,
Tyson
but I can't explain it. The tortilla chip smells just like the skunk. It's the same default smell. Guys, science doesn't even understand it. They're only just now getting into olfactic research that will cover things like COVID smelling loss. Okay, I've read a lot of articles on this.
Like a tortilla chip or like a Cool Ranch Dorito?
The more it is just a tortilla chip, the more that smell is pronounced. So if you add the Cool Ranch, the Cool Ranch starts to calm down.
You love Cool Ranch. You used to love Cool. Do you still eat Cool Ranch Doritos? Or
no,
no?
I just snort the powder in the hopes it'll bring back my smells. But
okay. So are there things that you are totally turned off by now that were a part of your life before?
Oh yeah, I mean,
what?
I love chips. That's one.
So you won't eat any chips now.
I try and then I cry. That's like the model that I use.
That should be a T-shirt.
Potato chips too, or just
bread?
Tortilla?
Bread, unfortunately.
Bread.
I love bread. Me and Oprah love bread.
Dude, I bet your 6-pack is coming in nice.
No, because I still eat them in the hopes that I could taste them, and I just want to relive my past glory
in remembrance.
In remembrance of.
So
bread.
What happens when you eat bread? It tastes terrible.
It's the skunk. It's not as bad as a tortilla chip, but it's nearly
like you're
the skunk
eating a
smell.
skunk.
Yeah, well, the default skunk smell.
And then you found the skunk, but you didn't eat it to see if it tasted like bread.
No, but I knew it was there because I had the default smell. So I'm like, there's a rotting corpse, a skunk, a tortilla chip, bread, or gasoline is near me right now.
But a rotting skunk corpse will smell different than a different rotting corpse.
No, it's the same smell. I've been running before and thought, oh my gosh, I can smell that smell, the default stink.
Is somebody baking bread?
If someone was baking bread, if I lived next to like a McVitie's factory, it would smell like a skunk, which is the default stink. Anyway.
Okay.
So I dealt with a skunk, which was bad. And then I went in and I had to remove a bed. And so I moved the bed and I saw something I've never seen. Maybe Rob's seen it in New York. You've probably seen a rat king. I wasn't quite a rat king. What it was is a rat or a vole. I'm pretty sure it's a vole. Comes running out with 6 babies suckling on it as it's running around the cabin. Now, don't worry. I didn't kill any of them. They all managed to escape except for 2, which I put outside. But
did you get a video or anything?
So I shot a video of it. It's not very good because my light would turn on and they were crawling into the hole. So you couldn't see it, but it was like a backpack of babies on top of the mom. And it was just added to the whole vibe of yesterday, the skunk. It was really gross. And so this morning I had to throw away the mattress that the rats had been making nests in for probably 2 or 3 years. And it was a growing experience. I'm a better man because of it.
Were you terrified to go into these places? Like, what am I going to see?
Yes. So part of the problem is when you have an experience with that many rodents.
Yeah.
I began to think all the whole rest of the time. So I had to like clean things out, move couches and stuff like that. I kept imagining rodents running up my pant legs. It's such a movie thing, but it's all I could think about. So I was hypersensitive to anything brushing against me, any sounds, because I could still hear the ones that escaped. They were 9, underneath the cabin.
Yeah.
And so it made me hypersensitive to the idea that any moment rats could crawl up my leg, fall on my back. And it was, like I said, I'm a better man. I'm that much more of a man now because of it, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It was a gross sight. I actually couldn't look at the crappy video I shot of it till this morning because it was so gross.
Yeah.
So yeah, big days. Things happen.
Sounds incredible, dude.
I wish you could have been there, Tyson.
Well, I wouldn't have gone in. I would have stood outside. I would have helped you.
I think you would have. You would have wanted to see, not the Rat King. It's not technically a Rat King, but that
queen.
whole mangled thing of rat fur and flesh.
Yeah. Well, what I would have done is, in the future, we want to set up a tripod and get it from the onset, right? Because when you lift up, that's when it is. I've got a crazy story about animals from yesterday.
Yeah, you are Father Nature. I would expect it.
I was in my bed last night, or no, yesterday morning.
Go on.
Bergen wakes up before us. She gets up. She's likes to play pranks on us where she moves our stuff around while we're still kind of asleep at 6 a.m.
Like what kind of stuff?
She'll move our shoes, mine and Rachel's. She'll mix mine and Rachel's clothes up. She'll take all of the stuff off of the bathroom counter and put it in the sink and in the bathtub. And it's called a prank. That's how she's pranking us right now. She comes in and she's like, "Hey Dad, I stepped on something sharp." And I was like, "Oh, like what? Like a cactus needle?" She's like, "Maybe." And I look and I see a little prick on her toe, but it's not. She's like, my toe hurts, but my foot kind of hurts a little bit too. I was like, okay. So when she said my whole foot hurts, I think scorpion. I'm like, "Let's go. Show me where you first felt it." She's like, "Right there." I had a pair of jeans right there. I lift up the pair of jeans. There is a scorpion about 3 inches long underneath my jeans. I retaliate for my daughter by smashing that thing with a shield and then flushing it in the toilet. And people are saying I should have flamethrowered it or whatever, but all I did was just smash. But she was totally chill, dude. She didn't cry. She didn't even wig out the whole day. She's just like, that's fine. And I was like, "How's your toe feel now?" And she's like, "It's good." And I was like, "Can you feel it?" And she's like, "I think so." I got her an ice pack to put on it. And she was so chill. And then this morning she's like, "Dad, you should call me Scorpion Girl Foot." And I was like, or Scorpion Foot Girl. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, "And you're Scorpion Saver because you saved me from the scorpion." I was like, "Well, technically I didn't. You saved me from the scorpion." And then, and then Mom got to be Tired Mom. So I'm Scorpion Saver. Bergen is Scorpion Foot Girl.
That's
and
fair.
Rachel is Tired Mom.
Mm-hmm.
So
Tired
we all
Mom.
have because Rachel slept through the whole thing. So super cool. And I've never been stung by a scorpion, and I'm kind of happy that
it doesn't hurt that much.
Oh,
well, now that we had the experience, I'm happy that she had the experience so she can not be afraid of things like that because it didn't really seem to hurt her.
by the way, Rob, remember that snake that was on the loose? And
Sure.
where you are?
Sure. Yeah, the Raleigh Cobra.
I read a day or two after we talked about that story. That snake had been on the loose for a month or something.
A month.
Yeah, you had been living in danger without knowing it for a long time.
Yeah, but lots of people live in places where there's cobras. I lived in multiple places with cobras.
If you live in a place and you know there's cobras there, that's different than living in a place and not knowing there's cobras. There shouldn't be cobras, but there is a cobra.
Okay. I'll tell you a cobra story that I have.
Okay.
I lived in the Philippines as a Mormon missionary for 2 years. And you know me, Father Nature. I love nature. I love seeing animals in the wild, whatever. I hear somebody outside our apartment yelling, "Snake, snake, 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 snake." I run over. I open the door.
He's got his dong out, standing there.
No.
That
There
would
is
be
a
a good
cobra
prank, though.
on our front porch that
Awesome.
hoods up at me as I open the door.
Yeah.
And
Good
I'm
dog.
like, "Oh my gosh." And me coming from where I am, where there's no cobras, I've naturally been taught my entire life that cobras are extremely.
You're already dead.
I'm already dead if I look at it. So I run inside the house, but I leave the door open.
Oh,
What? How do you
Terrible
make that
move.
mistake? Your
One
only
of the
defense.
One of the Filipino missionaries that was in our apartment with us grabs literally like an 8-inch 2x4, smashes it on the head,
Yeah.
and then gives it to a local man who takes it and eats it.
Do you think it was the snake that was yelling snake to get you to open the door?
I thought maybe somebody set the snake there.
Snake or treat.
For the Mormon missionaries.
How terrifying would it be if animals were that cunning?
Could ring the doorbell?
We wouldn't have any chance, or like to yell snake and then to funnel you down an alleyway where his snake friends are all waiting to snake you
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
So what can the animals do, Danny? Knock on the door?
Well, in this situation, ring doorbells
and then bite you.
Certain words, just anything to corral humans.
Yeah, and I guess they're so low. You look at the peephole, and then
Ricky Tikki Tavi would have ended much differently had that been the case.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reference, an old Hanna-Barbera reference from yesteryear.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, let's get to our top stories at this hour. We've had so many interesting animal anecdotes here today, but we still have some news to talk about. And of course, our top story at this hour, the Titanic was a disaster from the year 1912, but there are still new victims emerging from this terrible tragedy, because 3 new victims were claimed by the Titanic as the Titanic Museum in Tennessee, the world's largest Titanic museum in the Tennessee, have been hospitalized after the iceberg wall has come crashing down.
Oh my goodness.
My favorite part about this story
is all of it.
I saw the Rick and Morty episode with the Titanic. He goes to the Titanic Museum. And, I love it when you make a real world connection with a fictional show. And I'm like, it actually exists. I don't know if they do everything that they did on the show, but when I saw the picture of the park, it was very similar. I had the Titanic boat. It had the fake iceberg. And then it even had the failure. The show had the failure. And now this had the collapse of the iceberg wall.
They made it too big. It was they made the exhibit was too big. They said it was unsinkable, Danny.
Well, people, it's not uncrushable. It crushes.
Yeah. My favorite part of the Rick and Morty episode is that they go on, and then for some reason the ride malfunctions and they don't crash into the iceberg.
Yeah.
And that's what makes everybody upset, is that they actually avoided disaster when they were supposed to replay through this entire disaster. Well, I mean, the Titanic is the catastrophe that keeps on giving more catastrophic events.
I was surprised by the location of this museum. I thought
they're everywhere, dude.
Titanic museums?
Yeah, we just saw a Titanic museum somewhere here, and Bergen.
In Arizona, there's a Titanic museum?
I think so. And I think I saw one also in Missouri when I was there last year.
What?
Yeah, they're everywhere, dude. People love to reminisce about the Titanic.
Dang it, James Cameron.
You think they sprouted up after the movie?
Yes. I would be
so.
surprised if they were there before. Wouldn't you?
Nobody really cared about the Titanic before 1997.
Now they can't stop hearing about the stupid door. The door debate. If I was Leonardo,
and people didn't.
Yeah, if I was Leonardo, I would never answer that question. I would slap interviewers who.
What's the door debate? If that really
could
happened?
you have fit on the door with
and floated away?
Yeah, and floated away and been saved. Remember how he dies at the end?
Yeah.
It's like the question he gets asked all the time when he does movies. It would be really frustrating to have that. But
to be like, hey, this fictional movie written about a real life event ended in a way that from the outside looks like you could have made it. Your fictional character could have made it. Do you believe that your fictional character in this made up story could have survived had you written the movie a little differently?
Yeah. So I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that this happened at the amusement park. I'm more surprised that they have so many amusement parks. And now Tyson's opening my eyes to even more landlocked states.
They're
offering
everywhere.
Titanic fun. It's just that blows my mind more than anything else in this story.
So they actually have 400 artifacts here at the Tennessee Titanic Museum. You get to touch the real iceberg, which collapsed.
What?
You can walk the grand staircase and the third-class hallways, and then you can stick your hands in 28-degree water to see how cold it was.
28 degrees Celsius?
Fahrenheit.
That is cold. That's really cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, now I know the appeal of why the Arizona has one of the.
Yeah.
Cool off. And
people are throwing
Oh,
themselves.
it feels so refreshing. Yeah.
They probably have chicken wire in front of the cold water to keep people from flinging themselves into the chilled water, saving themselves from the horrible Arizona environment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I put in an offer on a mountain property yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, so you can chill off somewhere up high?
Yep.
Do you need Danny to come by and clean it out?
There's nothing on it yet. It's just empty land, but it has a stream running through it.
That's good. You put up a structure, you'll get rodents and other animals. Oh yeah.
Do you think we could design it to get more animals in there?
Yes. Well, the way you do it is you just leave lots of holes.
Okay.
Not even big ones.
But I want big stuff in there too. Like we want mountain
like
lions,
mountain lions.
everything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just leave lots of raw meat on the floor.
Okay.
And little holes, big holes, give a variety of holes.
Okay.
And sure enough, dude, it'll be an animal sanctuary. It'll
Cool.
be the coolest place.
So what we'll do is we'll just create we'll have lots of windows with lots of holes, and then we'll let it sit for a couple years, and then we'll go through and plug up all the holes from the outside.
Why don't you build a
Titanic?
Titanic?
See what we have.
A Titanic place up in your
Titanic Museum?
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart. Just a little one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I mean, you can't go wrong.
No, you can't. I guess Titanic museums seem to be very profitable.
It's the only explanation for why.
I mean, well, maybe is there another disaster movie that we could start a new museum?
Independence Day.
Does that have to be based on a true story?
Yeah, does it?
What about a Hindenburg museum?
What about Alive?
The Hindenburg is the Hindenburg the blimp?
Yeah, the blimp. Well, step one. All right, we got to make a big budget Hindenburg movie.
Okay, so we got to do the
only
Hindenburg
had the one
movie.
Thing.
Well, what did the Titanic?
Yeah, but the Titanic only had one thing too. They created the ship. Everybody was excited about the ship. They get on the ship and they go. This is the Hindenburg where they build the Hindenburg. Everybody's excited about the largeness of the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
They all get on the Hindenburg to go, and that's
No,
it's the same.
Titanic
And then you
had class struggle. It had
So did the Hindenburg.
Yeah, the Hindenburg probably did too, dude.
Yeah.
I bet they have a Leonardo
20
DiCaprio character there.
Poor people had all the seats in the middle.
And Adam Katz was thinking the exact same thing I was thinking. Led Zeppelin soundtrack throughout, because Led Zeppelin is named after the Hindenburg. And I think Led Zeppelin 2 actually has an image from the Hindenburg on the cover, as well as and I think you're right, Rob. I think there's class struggles there. I think there's everything.
No way.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio climbing up a rope right at the end to get on because he couldn't didn't have fare. You could make the story up.
They only gave parachutes to the rich people.
Yeah, you don't know, Danny. You don't even know if the Titanic is Yeah, that's what the Titanic movie did.
Oh, because James Cameron didn't just make stuff up.
He
in
was
the
there.
Titanic movie.
He consulted old people who were somehow connect to
Let
it.
me blow your mind, Danny. That Jack Dawson, not even a real person.
Look, I understand that. I don't think there's as much material in the Hindenburg as there is. I say Alive, the airplane that crashes in the Andes and they have to eat people. That's far more. You can make human meat. You can
human
have
flavored meat.
You
that
can
smells
have,
like tortilla chips.
Yeah, you can have a crashed airplane, cold temperatures. The struggle was very real.
Oh, that's it.
Nope. Danny's idea was crap.
Kicked him off.
Hindenburg. We're doing the Hindenburg, right?
Yeah.
Rob?
To get the Hindenburg movie going.
And then the museum.
Danny's computer just said that this guy is talking nonsense and just shut down.
This is going to be perfect because we'll have the museum in place before the movie comes out. So when the movie comes out, we'll be the only Hindenburg museum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if Danny can try to get with the program a little bit more.
There he is. See, Danny, that's what happens when you have a bad idea. The internet kicks you off.
Yeah, your iPad says, eh.
The internet didn't like my idea. I think my idea is way better than the Hindenburg. I took that time to reflect when I was momentarily kicked off, and I think my idea is way better.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that Alive, but Alive didn't get the fanfare that the Titanic film did, which is what you need.
Yeah, and Alive was already a movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I can be persuaded, but I still don't think the Hindenburg is the way to go. I think we need something a little bit more of a story, not just like a 1 second event. I mean, you're talking about the unsinkable ship. It had everything from building to the passenger list to the technology at the time.
So does the Hindenburg.
No, it's not.
You're
quite
describing
the
the Hindenburg.
It wasn't this. This wasn't this gold-plated airship. It was too. No, it wasn't that cool. I'm telling you,
it was the biggest blimp ever created at the time, and everybody was excited to go have dinner on it.
It made 10 trips in 1936.
Guys, 10 trips, and it took that many trips for it to explode. I think that it's not dramatic enough. I'm going to keep looking around for the disaster that Tyson can build at his mountain retreat because I don't think it's the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Hindenburg went across the Atlantic Ocean. Is that right?
Sure. Sounds fine.
They were going back. I mean, that same idea, Danny.
Yep. Except for it's by air. 1 if by land, 2 if by air.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, look, it's got a very lengthy Wikipedia page, Danny.
Yeah. See?
Is that how we're going to determine this?
Oh, did you know about the lightning hypothesis? Some people think it got hit by lightning.
Wow. And that's what exploded it?
There's a bunch of hypotheses. Maybe there could be multiple endings.
Wow. You could make up your own ending, kind of like what James Cameron did with the Titanic.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the Hindenburg screenplay, we'll start working on that, and then we'll get the museum going at the same time.
Bob Loblaw in the chat says, what about the Edmund Fitzgerald, the boat, the Explorer? I think it was an explorer's boat in the Hudson Bay. Is that what it was? There's a song about it. That's a pretty good song.
I don't know Edmund Fitzgerald.
Do you know the song Edmund Fitzgerald?
No. I know Larry Fitzgerald.
You would know the song if you heard it. But
Michelle Fitzgerald. Yeah.
That's enough. I guess we'll just keep brainstorming our Hindenburg idea.
No consensus.
We settled on.
All right. Well, speaking of boats with a hole in it, maybe the Titanic would not have gone down the way it did had there been some intrepid people on board who were resourceful, like Australia's Jess Fox, who was able to fix her kayak at the Tokyo Olympics to win a bronze medal using a prophylactic, Danny.
Well, we already talked about how many of those that are around. And usually when you need to be resourceful, you grab the things nearest to you. And she probably just reached into that clear fishbowl jar, grabbed like 10 of them on her way to the competition just in case.
Yeah. So
how did she fix it?
Yeah. Okay. So Jess Fox, she's an Australian. She had a problem with her kayak, and so she was able to use a condom at the tip of the kayak. You know, it comes to a head, the kayak. She was able to use a carbon mixture, and then because you want to give it the right shape, she just happened to have a spare condom lying around. Put that over it and gave it a very smooth finish.
Don't we all just have a couple lying around?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So
I think actually
to shape it, right?
Yeah.
Like a hole.
I think with the way the Olympics is going and how proud they are of all the prophylactics they're handing out, that each athlete should have to incorporate some type of prophylactic resource to earn their gold medals.
I think Trojan should get its own moment in the Olympic parade where they kind of march in with a bunch of like
the Trojan man
made out of you know, the prophylactics because it's become as big a part of the Olympics
The condom.
as any athlete or competition. So why don't they get a
Yeah.
spot?
I mean, what about, okay, how about like they do the Olympic rings and it's 5 condoms? That's the ad. That's
Perfect.
for a magazine. What do you think?
I like that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff to work with here, and I think they deserve a seat at the table
Hmm.
because they're providing hundreds of thousands. They're saving competitions. They need to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. What about then we got like a swimmer, and then instead of like the
swim cap. Yep.
they're gonna
Perfect.
put on like a giant condom.
Yep.
Perfect.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Or a regular size condom, depending on who you are.
I guess so. Yeah.
And then, I think there's a place for prophylactics everywhere in every competition. You just have to come up with it. So,
Or when eating like ribs or hot wings, you can put one on each finger
Yeah.
to keep the sauce off your hands.
is that an Olympic event? Eating hot wings?
Well, I'm
Not
just
yet.
saying, like in the Olympic Village, there's lots of ways you could use them. Yeah, I don't know why that one.
because it would be less messy, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm just brainstorming here. You guys had some
Mhm.
good ideas. I needed to throw one out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, good try.
Mhm. Yeah.
That would be so gross. Your hand would be protected, but it wouldn't matter because it would just taste so bad.
Yeah.
That's your sense of taste, Danny.
For me, it wouldn't matter. It
Yeah.
would all taste the same. Whereas probably like default skunk taste.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. But yeah, you wouldn't have to wash your hands after.
Yeah, maybe it would help divers enter the water smoother. If they covered their
Perhaps.
upper body and cut out face holes, just so that less
Mhm.
splash. That's got to be the case.
Yeah. Okay. So, congratulations to Jess Fox on the 3rd place finish and the repaired boat with the condom. Tyson, would that have worked on the Titanic?
No.
Hindenburg?
No, also. Both of those were too disastrous that you could not have gotten that to work.
Couldn't
What
put
about
a
the
condom on
Titanic
iceberg.
Museum? Would a condom have helped there?
Ooh. Maybe a bunch of them.
Maybe if the parents of the designer had used one, they could have used a different iceberg engineer to create a more sturdy iceberg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, congratulations to Jess Fox for her resourcefulness. No word on if it was one of the Olympic condoms, though.
Oh,
I'm just
that
going to assume
changes
it
the whole
was.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't-
I'm sorry. No, I could tell you it was an official Olympics condom.
They don't let you bring in your own. They like
You
turn out
can't
your
bring
pockets.
your own?
Well, that's my guess. They're like turn out your pockets because like a movie theater, they only want you to eat their food.
Yeah.
So
They're
they're
like,
like,
you
we've
cannot
got a
bring your own.
sponsor for this, and it's required if you enter this place that you have to use these.
Okay.
Yeah. I get it. I think I mean, you have to use those for what reason though?
Because they're sponsored. They paid to have their rubbers there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No performance enhancing drugs or anything like that.
Linked to the condoms. They're all clean. They've been made in factories where there's not
Cocaine also.
yeah, exactly. It's not also
Or steroids.
cross contamination. We make steroids and condoms.
Actually, that sounds like a good mix of products. I don't know
Okay.
why, but it seems like it would work.
Well, this is a great segue today. We've talked about snakes. We've talked about condoms. A great way to get into our next story. We talked a while ago about the penis snake, which
Oh my gosh, I
is-
saw another headline for that.
yeah. We talked about this last year, but the penis snakes are still on the rise and are on the verge of taking over the Florida landscape.
Gosh, Florida's under attack
Dude.
from
Yeah.
all sorts of invasive species.
Do you
Yes,
think eventually that all the invasive species will destroy each other and we'll be fine?
That's the hope.
Okay. As
I
you
think
bring
that
in
the
more.
reality is we're eventually going to have to send Danny in to clean out all the invasive species.
Florida should change their flag to a snake eating a snake. Like you
Ooh,
see
A phallic snake eating another phallic
an
snake
anaconda.
with
'Cause they have a python.
that's true. They have a python issue, and then they also have the wild monkeys with
Yes,
herpes.
the snake eating the snake around the
Mhm.
monkey's neck, choking the monkey. It would be a gruesome flag.
And
but
then
would
it says
remind us-
never give up.
Yeah, yeah. And then a Floridian chucking the whole combination in through a Wendy's drive-through window to really capture Florida on a flag.
That's quite the flag. So does this phallic snake have no predators in Florida?
Unclear. They eat small animals and they get eaten by larger ones. But we don't know
That's the
exactly
animal kingdom for you.
what might be eating them. That they are known by their scientific name of caecilians. That's CAE.
Way better name.
CILIANS, but are known by the name penis snakes because of their phallic-looking nature.
Street name.
Yeah, in both shape and color.
I don't like that. I think we should be using the scientific name, or we should rename it.
What, Danny?
To the gentle version. I prefer to say dong. I feel like
Yes.
dong snake is not as aggressive.
Mhm.
You know, like, oh my gosh, there's a dong snake.
They're
in my garden.
caecilians, so they're not snakes, they're amphibians.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean? Is that like the same category as what other
Salamander,
salamander?
newt.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like they're an amphibian.
And they're all over the place in Florida.
Apparently so, yeah.
Gosh, who brought those in? Who's like, this will be
Somebody
a great
thought
pet.
it was funny.
That
They're
means
like,
they're
"Oh, this pet
slimy
sucks."
and wet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could we catch the snakes using the leftover condoms from the Olympics?
Great idea. Put a small
yeah.
animal at the end of the condom and it crawls in, and then you just tie a knot, throw it in the trash.
I mean,
I think
we put it,
so.
like someplace humane.
Yes. We send it back to whatever country allowed these things to exist. Where did they come from originally? Anybody got-
South and Central America, Africa, and Southern Asia.
Lots of options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colombia, Venezuela.
How about the traps?
Amazon River.
How about the traps have prepaid postage? So you
Oh, yeah, I
capture
like
it
that.
and then chuck it in the mailbox.
Yeah.
Send
And
it
these
back to one of
guys
those
eat
places.
these guys eat like earthworms, essentially. And they really do just kind of look like a super long legless salamander, which is pretty much what they are. So they are disgusting looking. And
Like so many reptiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or also
Depends what you
like,
yeah.
yeah, depends on what you like, I guess. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I would propose that we introduce another species to try and get rid of this species.
That's the best thing we could possibly do.
Yeah.
Is just continue to destroy the environment by solving problems with more problems.
Yeah. So we find its number one predator in the place from which it comes.
Cobras.
Introduce that and see if that helps.
Ultimately, we're the ultimate predator. So we introduce everything into Florida.
Yeah.
But we reign supreme.
We're the apex, right?
As long as
correct.
there's not a ton of grizzly bears.
As long as we're are we the apex predator worldwide everywhere we go?
I feel like sometimes tigers and lions, I mean,
We'll get you.
If we didn't have weapons and there was a ton of them, I would live in fear. I wouldn't think I was the apex at all.
But I think that's your demise right there, is your lack of confidence.
I'm not thinking apex. I don't have an apex mindset.
Yeah, if you think alpha, you could roam the savannah free and clear with no weapons as long as you strut hard. You'll be fine.
That's fine. That's all it takes.
Because you put off those pheromones. You put off those attitudinal pheromones, dude. Yeah. So, I mean, you've seen like the tribe in Africa that walks up and takes the lion's kill from the lions right after they make the kill.
I haven't seen that, but
that real?
That's real. They get like 5 guys. They all walk in super confident, just like do. And the lions all back off. They chop a portion of the kill, take it, and then walk away.
That's kind of rude.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Wouldn't mess with those guys.
So, yeah, so let's introduce whatever eats those things and save Florida once and for all. Lions. Yeah, it is time. And the beauty for us here, I mean, Rob, where you are now, you're definitely going to get some spillover infestation.
Sure.
But where Danny and I are, Danny is in Utah where the climate is too cold for anything.
Yeah,
and I'm in Arizona where it's too dry and hot for anything to spill over, really. So I think we're safe over here, but you need to be a little more concerned.
I'll stay inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay inside.
Let's talk about story I've been very interested to talk with you both about this week. Did you hear about some of the parenting that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis have been doing in terms of hygiene for their kids?
Yeah, and I thought that's just what lazy parents do. And
they only bathe them when they get really dirty. Was that what they said?
Yeah, so they have 2 kids. They're 6 and 4, and so they told Dax Shepard on the Armchair Expert podcast, when they had kids, they didn't wash them every day. Here's the thing: if you see dirt on them, clean them. Otherwise, there's no point. And I just wanted to see, are Ashton and Mila onto something, or are we being punked?
No, there's a point to that.
My kids, regularly we bathe them probably every other day unless they get really dirty on a day, then we'll bathe them again. So like if you go to the park where there's sand everywhere, then they're getting a bath. But if they're just like regular day and not getting into anything too dirty, then it's a every 2-day bath cycle for us.
Also, are they boys or girls?
I think he has 1 boy, 1 girl.
Oh, that's a good mix, because I swear boys start to stink. That's the other thing is I'm like, you guys smell like you need to bathe right now because you're offensive. And so I don't think every day. First of all, I don't want to fight with my kids to get them to do it every day, and also I don't think it's necessary every day, because I mean, what are they really doing? They're not out there like pumping iron on Venice Beach, just working up a sweat. They're just doing kid stuff on Xbox. I mean, I sweat a lot on Xbox when I used to play, but I don't think my kids do, playing Minecraft. So yeah, I don't think that's that ridiculous. I mean, just to avoid the fight, I bet you add years to your life, or if you don't have to fight your kids to shower.
Yeah. Well, I think that there has definitely been some fighting on both sides, where some people say, okay, that's gross if you don't wash your kids every single day. And then also some people say that, that's fine. You don't need to do it that much.
Gosh, parenting, that brings everybody out of the woodwork with an opinion. Even people who don't have kids, they're the worst ones with their opinions, slapping you in the face with their ideas. You're like, dude, have a kid first, then come back to me with your suggestions.
Yeah. Tyson, where do you fall on this?
How do you mean?
In terms of, are you in the, the kids need the bath every day?
No, we don't. I said we don't give our kids baths every day.
Yeah.
We do every other day usually, and unless there's circumstances where they need a bath.
Does a swim in a swimming pool count as a bath?
We'll rinse them off after that.
Hose them down.
Then it counts. Yeah.
That's
so like,
great.
they go swimming. There's an outdoor shower. We just walk them over there, rinse their hair out, and then that's good.
Yeah, I think that's all you need. I mean, especially if the kids don't smell, they don't look dirty. I think you got people fooled.
Yeah,
totally fine.
You just don't want your kids to stink or look dirty, because then they'll get unwanted. Like I do believe that if your kids stink or smell or are covered in dirt and they go to school, it's not going to be good for them. So, you got to make sure, pay attention. My kids' fingernails, however, they are disgusting. And
all the time, no matter what?
All the time. I'm like, what are you just scratching dirt outside? This is like always so gross. Otter pop juice in there, dirt. I don't know, boogers, I'm guessing. It would just, you want to know where the next big pandemic is coming from. It's going to be coming from one of my kids' fingernails.
That's ground zero.
So it's going to be ground zero. Their hands are so sticky.
That'll be crazy if we trace it back to you, dude. And it's like
I'd be so
Tyson,
embarrassed.
you would have been a goner, except for that you moved to Arizona as everyone around you slowly withers away.
That's okay. All right, keep an eye on that, Danny.
Yeah, please.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I'm always looking at their fingernails.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk about a story that Danny, have you been following this? That 10 new treasure chests have been hidden in Utah.
This again. The treasure chest people just won't quit. I thought they learned their lessons from Forrest Fenn and all the people
You want to hear
died.
the update? This is from KSL TV News.
Yeah, that's my news.
Here we go. Hold on.
To this man who is giving people 10 new reasons to explore Utah's outdoors. The special Sandra Adams now with the story.
Nature has always been its own reward.
My dad had me out when I was a little.
Yeah, have you found that to be the case? Nature is its own reward. You don't even need to find treasure.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. You keep playing.
I've always been going out.
But now somewhere out among the streams and forests lies a different kind of treasure.
2.5 years is how long we've been trying to get this thing going and saving up and stockpiling everything for it. And so that's where we're at.
Wesley Weber says he's gone out across the state's wide open spaces and quietly hidden chests of valuables for others to find.
From $1,000 to $10,000 in gold and silver in 10 different spots around Utah.
Weber isn't going to make this simple. People are going to have to pay attention to the clues. It's not going to be as easy as walking along a trail and, free money.
So we're going to give you guys the clues and the riddles to find them.
Clues and riddles. Danny, are you ready?
No, this is so... I can't say how dumb this is. First of all, national parks and trails are more crowded than they have ever been. Congress is even considering, when it comes to national parks, coming up with solutions to limit the number of people. We don't need to invite more people out into nature. That's the first thing. Second, this guy is inviting so much terrible stress into his life. The one guy who did the chest recently, remember I told you about how many text messages, emails, all the pressure you get. People know where there is a lot of money and they're going to be hounding you and giving you sob stories. And you thought being the rich uncle was bad. It was like, this is just going to be a nightmare for the guy. And then if anyone dies looking for it, now he's got that on his shoulders, which is why Forrest Fenn quit the whole thing. I mean, they say that guy found it, but I saw an article just as recently as like 2 weeks ago that said that they still believe it was all staged just to bring an end to it so that people would stop dying and getting lost and needing search and rescue. I know search and rescue people don't appreciate these contests because they're out there having to pull people out of the mountains who went in completely unprepared. So all that money does not add up to the amount of money spent by search and rescue departments just to save people from themselves. And so, no, this is a terrible idea. Let's just stop.
So you're out there looking for this, though, right, Danny?
No, let's put them in the inner city, and let's do something else. Let's stop it with the nature
we
stuff.
could bring our cities back. You feel like?
Yeah.
So you think like downtown Detroit,
some of those
downtown Los
dilapidated
Angeles
cities. Yeah, Detroit's a great one. There's a lot of cities that could use some help and maybe some tourist dollars.
How big are these treasures worth?
$1,000 to $10,000.
Yeah.
What is he getting from this? That's the other thing.
So you have to go to his Instagram
followers
account. It's Utah's Hidden Treasures. Go check out the Instagram account for the clues.
Stop. Everyone stop.
Here's
Just
a QR code.
Oh, no. QR code.
Everyone who wants the first clue mailed to them for the junior treasure hunt needs to sign up by 10 o'clock, and then they're going to mail you the clue.
There's less than 8,500 followers on there.
Yeah.
But it's like, wow. Yeah, they are hiding.
Chest number 1 has already been found, Danny.
Whoa. Guys, I got to go. So annoying.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Okay. 8,300 followers.
I don't want to see more people on the trail. And this is backfiring on the guy with 8,300 followers. How much money did he spend per follower?
So many.
So much money.
Okay. Well, look, 9 treasure chests are out there, Danny. You can find them all.
Yeah. That's what I'm betting on, guys. I won't
Mhm.
be able to podcast for the next couple months. No more cleaning up Rat Kings for me. I'm going to be spending all my time looking for those sweet, sweet treasure chests.
All right, I've got one other story. I thought this was wild. Our favorite website, studyfinds.org, they posted another survey. Okay, they went to the survey people. They talked to 2,000 survey people, and 40% of them admitted to uploading images of food or beverage that they themselves did not consume, and 19% of them confess they never had any intention of eating the item in the first place.
Wait, they uploaded images?
Pictures.
So they
So I
for
don't
their
know if maybe,
Instagram.
like the first way they're asking it, it sounds like that maybe somebody else at the table might have ordered it, but they're saying that 19% of people that they talked to confess they never had any intention of eating the thing that they posted to their social media.
They just threw it away, or someone
I'm
else
not sure.
ordered it and they
If
took
they
the
just
picture
bought
of it.
it and then, or maybe they're like took a picture of it like behind the counter.
Yeah, or somebody else's meal.
I could see that. If you ordered the
Interesting.
golden fries or the golden burger,
Yeah, and then
I could
10
see,
people. That's how you do it.
Yes.
You go order the golden fries, and then influencers are obviously just hovering at that place. And they're like, hey, can I get a picture like those are mine? It's like, yeah, for $50. And then you crowdsource the fries to then have it covered.
Good idea.
Yeah. It's like that place where you can pretend like you're on a private jet as an influencer. It just costs money. So this
Genius,
is just
Tyson.
like, I'll go to Serendipity 3, the restaurant. I'll
Good
order
memory.
the fries and 10 influencers for the low price of $30 each can get a picture with the fries.
And for an extra $25, you can borrow my floppy sun hat.
Yep.
For the picture.
Exactly.
Wow.
Maybe have some stuff like that, some add-ons like some jewelry, a trendy hat, some kind of whatever, tight pants.
Yeah, tight
I
pants
don't
for
know.
sure.
Has anyone here ever done that? Taken a picture of food they did not consume themselves?
I can't think of a time that I did that.
I don't even know if I've taken a picture of food
that I did consume.
Yeah. I'm sure I have. I find it hard to believe. Like if I saw a funny shaped burrito.
Yeah, I have a picture of Danny with food when he cut
the schnitzel.
A schnitzel into a human mask.
I did eat the schnitzel,
but he did eat it, and he ate the eye holes that he cut out of it.
Yeah, and the mask was disturbing. If I wore a schnitzel mask to a Halloween party, it would be a great costume, actually.
Schnitzel is like chicken fried steak, kind of, Rob.
Yeah.
And Danny,
yeah.
And it was like as big, like this big.
It was so big.
Bigger than his face. And Danny cut eye holes and a mouth hole and held it up to his face at a schnitzel restaurant.
Yeah.
And the
Lecter
entire
style.
restaurant erupted in laughter.
That would have been huge on Instagram.
In Austria.
Yeah, pre-Instagram that.
Pre-Instagram. Yeah.
That's it. I peaked. The problem was I peaked too soon.
Yep.
Way too soon, dude.
Food picture stuff.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling too with everything. It's like I peaked before I could profit off of peaking. Now, yeah.
Peaking profit. Profit
Yep.
peaking.
Yep.
All right. Danny, are you ready to take us to your bolt hole?
Yes. Let's journey
Danny
there
doesn't
together.
make you dig in the woods to get to his treasure. He gives it out for free every week on this podcast.
You can
Come
slither
get my
in there
treasure.
like those giant phallic worms
All
that
right.
are actually amphibians.
Open bolt hole.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
Yes.
Did you guys see Jeff Bezos' space face?
His space face.
That's not what I want to talk about, but for some reason it was so disturbing. He must have gotten some surgery done so that he looked his best when he came out with that cowboy hat. He looks dramatically different. And at first I thought the article was going to be about how going into space somehow ruins your face, but It's not. He just had paid to have his face damaged by a plastic surgeon. But that's not what I want to talk about.
Usually Danny has pro-billionaire takes. I'm surprised.
Not pro-billionaire, pro-billionaire type thinking. And I'm not even like I'm not even pitching hype porn here. Like, well, these are the 10 things you need to do to be successful. Wake up at 3:30 a.m. Drink your own piss. Bench press 500 pounds 10 times in a row. Pet a cat, whatever it is that they have. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something that we touched on with the dong snakes.
Mm-hmm.
And that is humans meddling in things they should not be meddling in. Tyson's solution was to find the apex predator and sick that on the snake, whether or not it's an invasive species itself. And this goes back to a story I read, with all this story of drought in the West. I read a story about how Dubai is using drones to seed clouds, which seeding clouds, not necessarily a new thing, and that it seemed to be working. And the seeding of a cloud, you give the cloud something to attach the moisture to. You give it like whatever they call it, the nuclei, and then you cause it to fall. You get the cloud to release its goods prematurely, right?
Yeah.
And
firing those salt rockets up, right? Isn't that what they're doing?
Well, and in this case, they're doing drones, which that's kind of what attracted me to the story to begin with. But then with everything that humans do, you just can't. You can't do that. You can't go in there because that water was going somewhere else, right? So humans always do this thing to solve an immediate problem. But what they do is they create a long-term problem somewhere else to solve an immediate problem. Like Tyson's idea of bringing in cobras.
Where was the water going?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's going to rain eventually somewhere.
And it took millions of years for the Earth to figure out, hey, this is the best way, and this is the way it all works. And this is a really refined system that I've got here. This is what nature's saying. And then these humans come in with their drones, and like nature's like sending this cloud off to this oasis or whatever. And humans are like, no, we'll take this now. Thank you very much. Boom, drop it. Now that other place, wherever it was going to go, is shriveling up. It's probably a place where tons of influencers take pictures, a
the
nice
Salton Sea.
Yeah. And we're Salton Seaing it out there. And we always do this. We always think that we can solve. They talked about blocking out the sun. There was a plan floating around. I think some Scandinavian scientists came up with a way to block the sun. I thought, what a terrible idea. Why would we want to block the sun?
Have you ever lived in Arizona? It'd be nice to just not have the sun.
But the repercussions, which we can't even comprehend, of blocking the sun.
Look, Danny, there's no bad ideas in brainstorming.
Yeah. I think, Danny, we
they call that to block out the sun.
We block the sun and force it to rain just long enough to create Arizona into a rainforest environment.
Okay.
And then once that is done, we can lift all the other stuff and just see if at that point we thrive.
You guys are messing with a delicate equilibrium, okay? You're bringing in murder hornets. You're spreading dong worms. You're solving all your problems with more problems. All right?
Are we, though?
You're throwing gasoline on the fire, thinking that it's water. It's not. I'm just saying, I love the idea. Sometimes I get mixed feelings because I love the idea of tech and technology and blasting into space. But look, if we're gonna try these things out, let's try them out somewhere else. Let's nuke Mars into an oxygen producing atmosphere or whatever it takes, and then try out cloud seeding. I mean,
we should do that.
Just let's not do it here until we have a backup place, until we have a plan B. Let's
so you're saying let's do this. Let's blast Mars with an oxygen nitrogen combination with like exactly what we have here on Earth, right?
Okay.
And then at that point, we block out the sun a little bit from Mars so that we can create a rich environment full of plant life, but only the good plants.
Okay.
And then we introduce only the good animal species to Mars.
Okay.
And then we introduce only humans who are committed to living a carbon neutral lifestyle to Mars. And then that's it.
Yeah. I don't think humans have the capabilities to create this utopia that Tyson's describing because
I just
we have
told you
all
guys
these
how to
biases.
do it.
No, that's a terrible idea. That would not work out. Like your choice of animals, your choice of plants.
Well, what about Thomas's idea of what if we put a giant condom around the sun? So
I
it
saw
shines
that.
less? Yeah.
Again, let's not mess with it. Who are we to demand that the sun wear a giant prophylactic?
I mean,
Maybe
I
we should
was
put a condom around the earth to protect it.
I was out the other day and I was like, it is so hot. And it's crazy because I was looking up in the mountains. I was like, it's cooler up there. As I get closer to the sun, it's cooler. And I think there's thousands of miles you can travel toward the sun where it's actually getting cooler and cooler and cooler until there's a point where it gets really hot.
You're talking about millions of miles because space is absolute zero. So
sure, that's what I'm saying.
To.
So like if you went halfway between the earth and the sun, you'd freeze.
If you were just out of space, but you have to remember the planets between us and the sun are super hot, Venus and Mercury. So I mean, you could move to one of those, Tyson. I mean, Venus supposedly has a supportable atmosphere at some point in its atmosphere, but not at the surface.
Yeah.
But look, I know it sucks living in Arizona, and it's a trial for you every summer. You probably are like, I wish someone would block the sun, but don't do it, Tyson. I'm telling you. And whoever else is in Arizona thinking about sending something up into the atmosphere to block the sun, don't do it because the repercussions probably mean like giant 10-foot scorpions, or you don't even know what would happen.
So you're saying it's either going to be giant 10-foot scorpions or something we don't even know about.
What if you send like a giant blimp over Arizona to sort of like cast a shadow?
That might be less invasive.
I mean, a blimp is safe.
Yeah, I think the blimp, just make sure it's not the, filled with flammable gas.
Danny, why don't you get our helicopter friend to create some kind of mechanism that with this helicopter that he can fly
over your house?
No, it has to be bigger than that. It has to be a bigger shade than that.
You wouldn't take a shade just over your house. Like, let's say I could put something in the atmosphere that just shaded your house.
Yeah, I would actually do that. I think if I built a shade over my house, that would keep it so much cooler. But it would be cool if the shade also would sprinkle rain down.
Oh, is that what you would like?
Yeah.
You'd like to live in Arizona and have rain and shade. But then it's not Arizona anymore. You could probably move to a state that has those qualities and not have to live in Arizona.
Yeah, but I only want that. You need both to thrive, Danny. Then you don't miss one or the other.
Well, look, this is just me throwing out my PSA. Don't mess with perfection. And it took millions of years to find it. So let's not spread our seed into those clouds.
So you're saying where the earth is out at right now is perfect.
I was pretty good. I think that maybe we might be altering a couple things here and there. Look, I didn't even have this idea. I never even thought about it until I read about the guy who wrote Dune and how he came up with the idea of Dune. And he was working, I believe, in Oregon, and they were trying to stop the sand dunes from encroaching inland. So they planted a grass to stop the sand dunes. Guess what? The article that I was reading at the time was only written because now the grass has become a problem. And it was
How did the grass become a problem? Too many weeds?
Yeah, now it's like it's this terrible grass. It's overtaking everything, destroying the dunes. And so it's like it's classic us, like, oh my gosh, we've got a problem with dong snakes, bring in the cobras. We've got a problem with no rain, seed the clouds. It's like, no, we really should think this through because
so you're saying
you don't know.
If you have a problem, just ignore it because the solution is going to be worse than the first problem.
In the long run. Or just move. Got lots of options still to live other places. Tyson's got lots of room in Arizona.
I do, and it's nice here. It's it is hot today, but we have some of the best winters in the country.
Yep.
All right. There you have it. All right, Danny, what's coming up for you this week?
Editing a lot of video.
Of course you are.
For mediocre amateur. I've always got video, and it's nice to actually be editing. If I don't edit video, then I got to.
Oh, I guess the internet found what he was saying boring.
Tyson, how about for you?
I am.
You edited that part out of Danny talking about his videos.
Yeah, just cut that out. I don't need that. Look, if I'm not editing videos, then I'm dealing with Rat Kings, and
videos are editing you.
Why don't you video Rat Kings and kind of do a twofer?
Put that on TikTok, Danny. That'll be huge.
When you see the Rat King, for me, my immediate response isn't to film it. My immediate response is,
Get
what
away.
am I going to do with this thing? I don't want to
Okay.
kill it because I'm
Uh-huh.
not a cold-blooded killer. I don't have that like killer instinct.
Yep.
But I also don't want it in there. So my idea was, what if I just gassed the whole place, like attached a hose to my exhaust and then ran it into the cabin? That was my initial response.
No, animals
than
are
film it.
more impervious to that than humans are.
Well,
It
I
would
didn't
take
do
a
that.
while.
Eventually, then I thought I'll just chase it outside, but I found I'm not really good at herding rats.
Yeah,
which
and it's
I
going to
would thought
come back in
naturally-
anyways.
Yeah, I thought that would naturally come to me, like the ability to herd rats, to be like, maybe if I got a flute or
Do
something.
you use iMovie to edit?
No, I use Premiere Pro.
Of course you do.
Yeah. So anyways, I got that. I got things.
Okay. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, Tyson, what about for you?
Well, I'm going to Pittsburgh, and yeah, Colleen, we'll see you Friday and see some of your cousins as well. Don't be shy. Come up, get pictures. Hopefully I'll have some hats to sign and give away and some other stuff. But I'll just be hanging out, making the rounds. So come into the tournament area and find me. It's a pickleball tournament, but I'm not playing in the tournament.
Will you wear a red rose or something to identify yourself?
Yeah, so people can find you.
know?
I think everyone else is wearing a red rose, so I'll be the one not wearing the red rose.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so that should be easy. And yeah, I mean, I stand out. I'm 6'3". I got a Survivor beard going and my Survivor hair going as well. So if you can't recognize me, then that's on
What
you.
are you even doing then?
Yeah, I at Bergen's first day of school today, I got to drop her off, and I walked her in, and lady who's a huge Survivor fan burst into tears upon seeing me and getting a
She was
picture.
disappointed.
No, she was
Why did she
ecstatic,
Mhm.
happy tears.
Oh,
Danny.
you didn't specify what kind of
Yeah.
tears.
Happy tears.
I
And,
thought it was implied, Danny.
yeah,
They could have been tears of disappointment. I just wanted to clarify.
yeah. Why aren't you Boston Rob? I mean, that probably could have happened, but it wasn't. She was ecstatic.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah.
There you go. All right. And then, of course, I'll be back talking about Survivor. We're talking about the 8th best season of Survivor, Survivor the Amazon.
That's you, Rob.
That's me.
Danny, should we
Suspicious.
watch Survivor Amazon so we can comment on Rob?
You know what? I should, just so I can get a sense of Rob.
Yes.
Pre-news
Get a
AF
sense
Rob.
of me really from 20 years ago, though.
Yeah, this
The real you.
No, the
isn't
old
that
me.
isn't that crazy how long ago it was?
Yeah.
It's nuts to me to think that. Like I was swimming laps yesterday, and
Trying to bring back that Olympic dream of yours.
no, I was just so Bergen is at swim team.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, I'll just swim laps while she's there swimming. So then I get my exercise in rather than just sit there. And I was like, I feel okay swimming. And then I was like, I was a competitive swimmer almost 25 years ago was the last time I swam competitively, which I don't feel that old, but I'm sure to some people I do. look
Game's
that old.
changed.
Yeah, the game has changed.
Yeah.
So, but I still feel great.
And do you remember when nickels were, I mean, a movie was a nickel and a soda was a dime?
I remember there being dollar movies, but I think there's still dollar movies, isn't there?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think if you like go to the DVD store, I'm pretty sure they're all $1.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'll be in Pittsburgh. I'll see you guys there, and
I won't be there.
It's gonna be
Tyson,
so
you
great.
won't see me.
You won't be there.
No, sorry.
Come on, Danny.
What does Pittsburgh have? Anybody?
Steel.
Yeah, steel mills.
Steel was cool.
Yeah. History, probably. Historic steel mills.
PNC.
Mines.
I bet it has
coal
tons of cool
mines.
stuff. That's why I'm not asking, like, because I think it doesn't have anything. I'm assuming it has lots.
Isn't
Parking
the
lot?
deer?
Sure. They got a
Isn't the
ton.
Deer Hunter film based in Pittsburgh? The movie.
Okay.
Heinz
All right.
Ketchup Factory, I think.
Yeah, Heinz Ketchup Factory. Are you Googling this?
No.
Oh, that's cool.
Pinball tournaments. Yeah.
Yep. What do you got going on, Rob?
Yeah, just talking about Survivor, and
He's
then
talking about his episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then more Big Brother.
Oh, dude, you can never get too much Big Brother. 17 episodes a week. Dude, yeah. It's a huge commitment, Robin. I have to applaud you again on being one of the best at watching TV.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll be back next week. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.
We did it, guys.